on.
Are we? We're on. Alright, welcome to Fight Fix with Frankie Barca. This is episode number 5. Okay, this is UFC129 SHields versus GSP. Obviously, it's a pretty stacked card. It's got some great fights on here. So I'm going to go through them one at a time as usual and give you my ideas and my predictions, and hopefully we'll see what happens on the weekend. So, I'm going to go straight to the main fight. SHields versus GSP for the welterweight championship. Obviously, you know, SHields presents a very dangerous opponent to GSP. Obviously, his ground game has been talked a lot about, and we understand that he's got an incredible game off his back. But here's some things to consider. First of all, George St. Pierre, he sets a pace, and he'll just push and make changes and mix it up and just confuse you. He'll back you up, put you on your heels, he'll put you up against the cage, and you don't know what to expect. When he starts creating this emotional instability in the fighter, people tend to make some mistakes, and they tend to get thrown off what they plan to do and what George wants you to do. And that's what George St. Pierre does so well and does it the best, in my opinion. He's able to get you to fight his way. Obviously, George is going to want to keep this standing, and I feel that maybe very late in each round he might go for a takedown and start working on the top for maybe at the 45-second mark, I reckon, of each round. I can't see him taking the risk and trying to really fight for the takedowns early on in the round. I mean, obviously, thinking about SHields' ground game, it's not surprising to make that assumption. So, also, not to forget that GSP has got an all-round game. So whether he's striking, whether it's his wrestling, and also don't forget he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt as well. So he's no dick on the ground. So he's going to be able to mix it up that way. And if he is put on his back by some stretch of the imagination, you know, guys like Josh Koscheck couldn't put GSP on his back. Pure wrestlers couldn't do it. John Fitch couldn't do it. He's very difficult to take down. He's probably got the best wrestling numbers in the entire UFC ever. Although he's not a pure wrestler, but he is the best at the wrestling game in the UFC. So we've seen that time and time again. SHields' striking isn't that great. I mean, can he throw a hard punch? Yes. But does he have knockout power? Haven't seen that. But we definitely know he's got an amazing chin. We definitely know he's extremely determined. And he really honestly believes that he's going to be taking the title from GSP. Obviously, SHields is going to want to get GSP on his back, but I can't see that happening. Like I said earlier, his wrestling isn't that talked about, isn't that good, in my opinion, to be able to put someone like George St. Pierre on his back. So, in my opinion, the long and short of it, I think GSP is going to have this down. I think if SHields is going to have any shot of putting away George St. Pierre, I think it'll be maybe in the 4th round, late in the 4th round, when they're in the championship rounds, where maybe the fight might be at a cracking pace and George St. Pierre, by any stretch of imagination, might be a little bit tired, which I've never seen before ever. So it's going to be a stretch for SHields, in my opinion. I think GSP is going to take it. I think he's going to have a dominating performance. I think he's going to do what he always does. He's going to keep the fight standing. He's going to be working his hands. I think SHields is not going to be able to have a sniff at taking him down. And if he does, as usual, GSP is just going to pop back up again. So I think GSP is going to have this fight, no doubt. The second championship fight that we're seeing at UFC129 is Jose Aldo against Mark Dominic. Now, sorry, Hominick. I've got to say that Hominick's got pinpoint accuracy. He's pretty precise with his striking. He's got good wrestling. But I don't think he's ever had an opponent anything like Jose Aldo before. Jose Aldo is not only a world champion Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, we haven't even needed to see his ground game. He's so busy knocking fools out with one shot, whether it's a knee, whether it's a punch. He's got that kind of power. He can knock you out with one punch. He can toy with you in standing. He can take the legs out from under you, as we saw with Uriah Faber. He deals with wrestlers so well that he doesn't even need to use his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills. And we saw that against Uriah Faber as well. And he's just knocking fools out left, right, and centre. So that's the same way I'm going to see this fight. I think Jose Aldo is going to show the world why pound for pound he's definitely in my top 3 pound for pound greatest MMA fighters of all time. I can't see anyone else, you know, budging out of the top 3 thinking about Jose Aldo, that's for sure. Mark Hominick, you know, he's got great goods as well. He's got, you know, he's got a great all-round game, but nowhere near as dangerous as it needs to be to beat someone like Jose Aldo at this weight class. So, also the last fight I want to quickly talk about, Randy Couture, Lyoto Machida. This is going to sound funny to some people, but I really think that Randy Couture is going to win. A lot of people I spoke to said, oh, he's too old, there's no way he's going to beat Machida, he's too fast. I don't know. Randy Couture is one of those guys that can get the fight to the ground pretty much whenever he wants. His dirty boxing against the cage is the best in the business. He's a master at it. And he is going to make this fight dog ugly. What I mean by that is he's going to press him up against the cage, he's going to get that incredible underhooks, head position, and he's just going to beat him up against the cage. I think he's just going to wear Machida out. Machida likes to leap in and out. Classic karate style punching. And I think he's going to play into Randy Couture's hands tenfold. I think his elusiveness is going to be okay at first, but I think Randy Couture is just going to make some fine adjustments and he's just going to catch up with him. Randy Couture has been in the game a long time. He knows how to deal with these types of people. We've seen him do it in the past and he's going to do it again. I think Randy Couture is going to go out with a win. I don't see him going out in the Shield at all. I don't think Machida's got enough firepower to put Randy to sleep, to be honest. And I don't think, unless Randy makes a blundering mistake and gets head kicked or something, which can always happen, against someone with great kicks like Machida. If I was Machida, I'd be attacking a wrestler's legs relentlessly with leg kicks, etc., to try and take the sting out of him. But Randy Couture always brings it in shape. I can't see Randy losing his fight. Also on the card, Ben Henderson, Mark Bocek. This is going to be a massive fight for me. I can't wait to see this fight. Ben Henderson obviously coming off a loss to Pettis. It was an incredible fight. It was close all the way. Ben Henderson's no joke. He's got great wrestling, great striking. He's got incredible cardio endurance, and he brings a fight all the time. He's got an incredible guillotine as well. So he's finished plenty of falls with the guillotine. Bocek's got incredible jiu-jitsu, but that doesn't mean he's impervious to being choked out. We've seen how good he is against Dustin Hazlett when he pulled out that knee bar out of nowhere. It shocked the world. Bocek is real. His jiu-jitsu is incredible. I'm going with Bocek in this. I think Ben Henderson is just going to want to wrestle too much, and I think Bocek is going to have his guard tested, and I've got a feeling he's going to finish it there. That's my thoughts on the Ben Henderson-Bocek matchup. Also on the card, Nate Diaz on the card as well. He's up against McDonald as well. I'm going with Diaz by submission. We've got also Jake Ellenberger's on this card, and a few others as well. So I'm keen to see this. It's 55,000 people in the Rogers Centre in Canada. It's going to be amazing. The biggest crowd ever at the UFC. The biggest pay-per-view ever. I think it's going to be amazing. I think GSP is going to reign supreme again. So we'll see what happens at the outcome. I'm going to have a wrap-up next week, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday for you at the conclusion of all the press releases, etc. and the fallout of UFC 129. Look forward to catching up with you then. Peace.